how would you fix the Eagles, man? How would you fix the Eagles? Spence, you actually had a pretty good explanation in our class on what you would do. So, Spence, I'll let you jump in on how you would fix the Eagles.
All right. Well, first off, we already hired a coach, right? Nick Sirianni. Let's talk about him, first of all, because our building, everything that we do from now on is going to have to revolve around our head coach. So, 2012, Nick Sirianni was the Chiefs wide receivers coach. Probably one of the reasons we brought him to the Eagles. Our receiver core is trash. 2014, Sirianni was now named the quarterbacks coach for the Chargers. Who did he work with on the Chargers? Phillip Rivers. Now he becomes the offensive coordinator for the Colts in 2018, right? He's got Andrew Luck at 2018. Remember Andrew? Fucking beast. And then he had Jacoby Brissett, same type of quarterback as Andrew Luck, kind of, just not at the same level. And then what do? They bring in Phillip Rivers. Now, the thing that's all the same, everything that's the same with those three quarterbacks is they're all what? Pocket passers. All right? Is Jalen Hurts a pocket passer? No, he's not. He's going to run. That's what he's going to do. So we have to build around our coach, and you don't hire a coach to coach Jalen Hurts because that's not what his whole philosophy has been his entire life. He didn't get hired as a dual threat quarterback coach. So now we need a pocket passer, right? I said in my in class the other day, right? I was talking to Sean Watson. I want Sean Watson. I think you can put him into any system and he's going to succeed. I don't even know how many passing yards he had last season, but they were towards the top, if not the most. So he can do it all. I want the Sean, but if I can't get the Sean with our cap situation, we got to look to the draft. And if we look to the draft, who do we got? Let's see. We have Trevor Lawrence, right? Probably untouchable. Can't get him.
Not going to be on the board. At 6, he's going to be gone.
Exactly. Justin Fields, is he a pocket passer? No, not him. Zach Wilson, BYU, is he a pocket passer? Yeah, but is he a fit with the Eagles? Christian Boy coming into our hard-ass locker room at the Eagles? I don't think so. So not Wilson. Then you got Trey Lance, North Dakota State.
I like him, actually.
I like him too, but I don't know if he's a pocket passer. I mean, you got to work with him.
I think he's a lot like Wentz, though.
I think so too. Yeah. I like
Wentz.
I like Mac Jones the best from Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's funny you say to Matt Jones because one of our lead scouts, my boy Bryce, that's on the Sports for the Culture show, he has been scouting a lot of Mac Jones. And he said he was scouting the Alabama receivers first. And he was just like, wait. Look at that dime after dime. This guy drops dimes, man. He might not be like the sexiest prospect, but the dude's got a cannon, and obviously he had a great offensive mind in front of him. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on Jones, man.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And if you think about it, he never started. This is his first year starting, and I think if you go back to high school, he only started like 2 years, so he's only had 3 years of starting quarterback play. He's been through the battles similar to Jalen Hurts in his college career, just having to battle people. He's not scared of it. And I think he would be a good face of the franchise. I mean, he could take all the Philly fans, who are tough. And I don't know, man. I think that's the move. If we can't get Sean Watson.
That's a very interesting point, man. Extremely interesting point, man. If he's on the board late, because if we pick up a late first rounder, I think that would be kind of interesting. I would like to see what that could look like. I think he could handle himself in Philly too. He seems like he can get down in Philly. You know what I'm saying? He seems like he can handle our fans. I'm very surprised at you, though, Spence. I'm surprised that you're thinking that we should draft a quarterback when we got a great quarterback on the roster, man. Because that's how I would move forward. Is this? Like I said, our cap situation is strapped, man. But we talk about the eye test, And the thing about NFL versus college is, when you jump from college to the NFL, it's almost like we just forget like what we saw on tape. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden dudes that run 4.4s just start elevating up the board, and dudes that had great game tape all of a sudden start falling down the board. That's how Jalen Reagor got drafted over Justin Jefferson, in my opinion, because if you look at the tape, it's clear to me Justin Jefferson was the better player, and we've seen it. T. Higgins, another guy that slipped down the board last year. But Jalen Hurts is a guy who, when he was at Oklahoma, I couldn't help but love what I was seeing with him. And when he was playing at the highest level, I ain't gonna lie, I slept on him when he was at Alabama. I thought he was a limited passer. I thought he was a game manager. And then when I saw him at Oklahoma, I see him taking things to the next level. And he reminded me a lot of it's going to be kind of a fair comparison. Maybe you won't agree, but I think he reminds me a lot of Donovan McNabb when I seen him. You know, Donovan McNabb wasn't the most accurate passer in the world, but he was a pretty good passer, and they got a similar body type as when he came out. So I think he could be the next Donovan.
I like that comparison, actually. I never thought about that. But I still think Jalen Hurts is a run first, and Donovan McNabb is pass first. And I think it still goes all back to the system. I really do think it goes back to the system with Nick Sirianni. And I just don't feel that Jalen Hurts fits that system. And I think we drafted Jalen at, let's say, what if we traded Jalen Hurts? What do you think we'd get for him?
I don't know, man. I don't think we get much.
You don't think we'd get our second round back?
I mean, why? Why would you trade a second? You just got him for a second rounder. Why would you trade him again for a second round? Yeah. It's like, you're just moving sideways. But what I would say is, if you keep Jalen, you got the number 6 pick. You can have your pick at most likely one of the 2 most elite wide receivers in the draft, right? A lot of people like Jamar Chase. I really like Devonte Smith. I think when the draft comes, we may start falling in love with Jamar Chase because I think he's gonna hit in the combine. But Devonte Smith, he already knows what's up. He said, "I'm not going to the combine. Y'all not putting me on the scale," because he knows that he's going to be about $150 soaking wet. Like he's a skinny guy, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter because if you watch the tape, this dude puts up prolific numbers. To me, he's an elite receiver. He reminds me of Marvin Harrison, another Philly product who obviously had a Hall of Fame career. But I think he could be great. And then if we could get a late first round pick from Wentz, then I think we could go maybe target we really need we need a number 2 corner, like a real number 2 corner, because we were getting tore up late during the games. We haven't drafted a good linebacker ever. That would be great. But our organization doesn't typically do that. And I think we should probably be looking at the offensive line. You know, if we go first round, late offensive line, honestly, if we went top 6 offensive line, it wouldn't surprise me because that's typically the type of move that the Eagles make. We know that they like to invest heavily in the trenches. But we shall see, man. We shall see. There's more than one way.
I don't like Devonte Smith.
Really? Why?
Well, what you said, obviously, first of all, he's small.
Man.
I know, like, there's only a few people in the league that can take that kind of hit. And, like, if you think about it, what is he? Who's the guy, Brown, from the Ravens?
Marquise Brown, Hollywood.
Marquise Brown. Kind of similar. Not a stud. Just fast guy, good hands. And if you look back to Alabama, Jalen Waddle was the guy.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle was the guy, and he got hurt, and now Devonte Smith takes over as number 1 because Jalen Waddle's out. Imagine Jalen Waddle was in. Maybe Jalen Waddle becomes the Heisman. You know? And now that Alabama, if you look at Alabama's offense, you got a great quarterback who can throw dimes. But now you're not only looking at Jalen Waddle and Devonte Smith on the field, you don't have Waddle, so now you only have Smith. So now you only have to draft Smith. I mean, or throw to Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I would rather pick Jalen Waddle up in the 2nd than pick up Devonte Smith in the 1st.
You know, Spence, I actually kind of like that idea. Waddle is a guy that you see T Boogie right here. He just said Waddle is my guy. Waddle, I actually think, unpopular opinion. Some people actually say T Boogie was one of the people on the show that said that he likes Waddle better than Smith too. So honestly, Waddle would be a good fit. He's a little bit more physical, and his value has dropped a little bit. So Devonte Smith might be a top 5 pick, top 6 pick. You could get a guy like Waddle in the first round, and I wouldn't be shocked if Waddle ends up being a better pro. He might be a better fit in the offense too. I like that. I like that. We could roll with that. So we go offensive line first pick or Waddle 2nd pick. I know you're going to try to go get a quarterback, so we will see, man.
We'll see, man. I don't know. But our cap space is tight, so it looks like the draft is kind of our only way to go out this season, you know? So, we'll see what happens.
All right, so the last question, this one's a bonus one, real quick. Any key positions? Obviously, you mentioned quarterback is a position of need. You would say Eagles' top 3, top 5 needs heading into the offseason. What would you list?
I think quarterback, definitely. I don't think we draft a wide receiver, to be honest with you, in the 1st. Maybe not even the 2nd. We have a bunch of young guys already that haven't even got a chance. And think about it. If we get rid of Alshon Jeffrey, if we get rid of Deshaun Jackson, we have no type of veteran on the team. We have none. We're going to need to go out and sign a cheap free agent veteran receiver just to teach those young guys. I think our running back, we're solid. We can pick up a cheap running back. I think D-line. I think we're big on D-line as an organization. But if you look at everybody, everyone's getting old. You know, Derek Barnett is not the answer. He's our only young guy. We're getting old, man. Like we got Fletcher Cox.
I think Brandon Graham's done.
Brandon Graham, 32, I think. Yeah, everyone's getting old there. So, yeah, I'd go D-line. I'd go quarterback, D-line, corner, and then linebacker, I guess. Yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
Well, I'd say quarterback's not on my list at all, so I'm not looking for a quarterback. I'm going on record. We got a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is the guy, but that's just me. I'll say my biggest concern is definitely wide receiver. That's my number one need. I don't think we can go into this season with the receivers that we had. I don't think they're it. I don't like. I think Jalen Reagor has some potential, but the rest of those guys are scrubs in my opinion. Greg Ward being probably the best of the remaining bunch, and we already know he's pretty good, but he's not a blue chip type of talent. You know, he's a guy that worked really, really hard to get where he's at. So I'd say wide receiver is my number one concern. I'd go offensive line and defensive line back to back because I think the trenches are the most important position on the field. I think that we need a little bit more love on the edge. I don't think we have a guy that's really a ferocious edge rusher. We haven't had one for a little while. And I think based on Brandon Graham's contract situation, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up getting restructured or possibly released. I'd say linebacker is number three in terms of needs for me, just because I thought that we had some really major issues at linebacker this season. A lot of times, I'd say maybe like 70% of the games we had a linebacker get beat for a touchdown. You know, it was tough, man, for us. Nate Jerry, probably one of the worst linebackers I've ever seen in coverage.
He's out.
Yeah, he's horrible. TJ Edwards showed some potential, but I think we need another guy. I think we need like a Devin Bush, Devin White, like a guy that can play 4 downs for you. I was really high on Patrick Queen last year. He got drafted first round by the Ravens. He had a pretty solid season as a pro. I think we can get somebody in like the 3rd round, 2nd round. There's usually a lot of talent at linebacker. That would be my next position of need. Then I go defensive back. I think we need obviously a number 2 corner, and I think we need some youth in the secondary. I liked Kayvon Wallace addition. I think he's going to grow into a pretty good player, but we haven't had a real force at safety since Malcolm Jenkins left, and I think we've been missing that in our defense. Jalen Mills tried to fill his shoes last year, and I think he did a respectable job, but I don't think he's
for $4 million, decent job. He made $4 million last year. I'll take that. Yeah, Jalen Mills. I think we re-sign him because he's a free agent now too, right?
He is. You mentioned that. I'd say at a $4 million price tag, I think he's worth adding for depth. But I don't think we should go into our offseason thinking that Jalen Mills is a starter. Or, if he is a starter, I say it's just because the young guys ain't ready yet. But I'd like to see a nice young safety get brought in. I think that would really beef up our D.
Yeah, I agree with you on all aspects. I just think we have to think about cap space, right? And if you think about every position, you have to figure out where to draft them. Because if you draft a linebacker, right, let's say you draft a quarterback at 1, you got to pay him like $25 million a year. But if you draft that quarterback at like 4, like you only have to pay him like $5 million a year. And it goes the same thing for each position. I don't know. It's tough, man. Money. Need money.
Yes. Yeah, it's all about money, man. Money make the world go round. And right now we're strapped for money, which brings me back to why Howie Roseman is a disgrace as a GM. Philly, if y'all looking for GM prospects, you got 2 right here on the screen. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me show y'all where y'all can find us. Add us on Instagram. Philly, y'all need some saviors, man. Bring me and Spence in. We'll fix it up for y'all, man. We get y'all money right. We know how to balance the checkbook. And we know talent when we see one, man.